there's a lot of speculation that the result of the attacks on Abqaiq and Khurais a couple of weeks ago and the lack of an obvious American response is a signal that in essence the United States has given up what had been a decades-long commitment to defend the production and free flow of oil. I'm not quite there yet. I know a lot of people in the Gulf think that. We still have the capability to do it. It's a question of the political decision-making process here in the United States.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Greg. I think that one of the reasons why the attack probably took place was because the Iranians made a calculation that President Trump is unlikely to respond militarily because he would be worried about his electoral prospects in 2020. I see the attack as part of a long-term process where the United States has been signaling, both under the Obama and the Trump administrations, that the U.S. is exhausted with the Middle East and wants out. And it's understandable because domestic public opinion feels that way.
Right. But we still have the capabilities. I mean, when you consider the fact that President Obama comes into office wanting to get out of the Middle East, when he leaves office, there are about 60,000 American military forces in the Middle East, not counting Afghanistan. And President Trump comes into office saying we've fought stupid wars and we're not going to get involved in the Middle East. And right now, there's about 60,000 American troops stationed in the Middle East. So there's definitely a political pull away, but there's also a strong kind of inertia in terms of our basing structures, which keep us committed to some extent.
Yeah, and the big worry is if and when the Iranians hit again, which is very likely, and they will hit again because the sanctions are being ramped up, and there was no response to this attack.
I think that the interesting thing about this is the emphasis on a lot of people on the Arab side of the Gulf has been, oh, the Americans have done nothing to retaliate for this attack on the oil facilities. But I can imagine in Tehran, people are thinking, we have vastly escalated by hitting, in many ways, the most important node in the world oil system. And nobody cares. What are we going to do next to try to get the attention of the world focused on us so we can then start a diplomatic process to get these sanctions taken off?
So we're actually facing, I think, the most dangerous situation that I can remember since the Gulf War and the Iraqi invasion of 2003. This is really kind of a watershed moment in the history of both American policy and strategy towards the region, but also in terms of global energy systems and oil supplies.